Hello and welcome, friends. I'm super excited to be sharing with you the Not Too Shabby Paper Pad Club of the month because check it out, there's a bonus offer. So you can get this 3x4 stamp set. It's actually an add-on to the stamp of the month, Critter Cafe. And the way that you can get that bonus is if you sign up to receive the Paper Pad Club monthly and you choose the I Want It All option. Because with the Paper Pad Club, you can get just the paper pads. So that's 2 paper pads that are 6x6. This month it's But First Coffee and Boho Autumn. You can opt to add the ephemera pack, or you can choose the I Want It All, which includes the 2 paper pads, the ephemera pack, and the stamp of the month. And this month, there's a bonus, so you can get this extra add-on if you want. My video today is also part of our monthly Not Too Shabby Hop, where as a team we feature all of the new subscriptions for the month. So if you want to check out the box of the month and more inspiration for the Paper Pad Club, then just expand the description box below and you'll find a playlist where all of our videos have been collected, so you have one easy spot to watch each video. And of course, in the description box you're also going to find a link to the giveaway too, so be sure to enter for a chance to win a gift certificate to shop Not Too Shabby. So for my card today, and if you watch to the end, I'll actually show you 3 cards, but all 3 cards are going to follow the same recipe. I shared recipe number 4 earlier this month to my channel. It's a separate video, and with my recipes, it's really a card making recipe that shares a couple of quote ingredients, card making supplies, and some basic techniques for how to use those supplies. And with recipe number 4, it's all about strips of paper. So in that first video, I used 1/2-inch strips, and I did some pretty basic color blocking, just laying one strip right up against the next one. And today I thought I would go kind of the opposite and cut these really thin strips. I didn't even measure them, but I was aiming for about 1/8 of an inch. And I cut 2 each in some different colors so that I have some variety. And what I was looking for was actually, as I was picking my papers, I was working with my scraps first off because I think this recipe is really great as a Scrapbuster. But I was looking for a dark, mostly more or less solid, and so I found this wood grain, which I thought worked really nicely. And I was looking for a medium color, which I picked. One of the patterns has this really lovely, almost like a caramel color, which is really great. And while it has a pattern to it, it looks more or less solid. And then I looked for a lighter color, so something that has some white and something that has some pattern. Now, cut down to these 1/8 inch strips, you can barely appreciate the pattern, but it just adds some visual interest to have some papers that are visually a little bit different. And that way each one kind of shines and there's enough contrast between them. Now, I pulled out my Pear Blossom Press Card Maker T-Square ruler. This is the new one that came out for A7 or 5x7 cards. And what's unique about the Pear Blossom Press T-Squares is that, first off, it's a great size for card makers. So there was the original A2 for A2 size cards, and now we have the A7 for A7 size cards. But what I find super unique about them is the jigs that have been designed as part of them. So if you use your ruler on one side, it helps you to get those 90-degree angles and helps you to line up things that way. But if you flip to the back side of the T-square ruler, then there's a jig where you can line up your card panel into that jig and get perfect borders. So with the A7 ruler, you get 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch borders, and with the original A2 T-square, which is available at Not Too Shabby, you get 3/8" and 1/2" borders as part of those jigs. Now today I'm actually using the 1/8" jig, and I'm actually lining it up where I can see the edge of the jig, and I'm using it on the middle of my card to create some perfect spacing for my strips. And I just wove my strips. So I put in the darkest color, I put both the horizontal and the vertical strips down first. And then my second strip, I again put the horizontal and the vertical down, glued those down second. And that way they kind of overlap with one another and just sort of weave a little bit. It's not a perfect weave, but I think it just creates a little bit extra interest there. And I did very purposefully use the more solid patterns on the outside, and I sandwiched that more colorful pattern that's lighter in the middle. I kind of feel like that works the best, but you can always play with what you like and what visually is most interesting to you. And the whole idea behind recipe number 4 and playing with strips of paper is just to arrange those strips however you'd like. As I mentioned, it's a great Scrapbuster, so you can really use very minimal paper like I've done today and really create almost a feature out of it. Well, I actually like this pattern a lot, and I was actually thinking about not coloring this stamp image at all, but I've left quite a lot of white space on this card, so I felt like my image did need to have a little bit of color. And so I'm gonna color, but I'm only gonna do some very quick spot coloring, and I'm going to keep it monochromatic as well. And that way it's still pretty simple, it's still pretty fast to do if you are like me and you love to color but you're just kind of slow at it. This recipe might be a really good option to explore, because I think the pattern that you create with the paper strips almost becomes a feature. And so you don't have to they're almost the star of the card itself, and not just a background or a backdrop for your focal image. So that means that you can, in my first set of cards, I just stamped and I didn't color at all. And this one I'm keeping the coloring pretty minimal and very monochromatic. And so I think that helps to really highlight the pattern that we've created with these small little thin strips. And I'll show you 2 additional cards at the end once I finish up this coloring, because this first card I crafted with my But First coffee paper pad and some leftover scraps that I had from an earlier project. And the next 2 cards I'll show you are from the Boho Autumn paper pad. And so you can see that you can really use any papers. But I do love trying to get a dark, a mid, and a light. And I also try to keep things contrasty a little bit in the pattern as well. So I like to have something that looks more solid and mix in something that has maybe a little bit more pattern to it. So here's my second card. Again, this features Boho Autumn and the fun little fox from the Critter Cafe add-on stamp set, which again, remember, that's a bonus if you sign up for the I Want It All option. And this is also Boho Autumn and using ephemera from the Woodland Coffee Critters ephemera pack. I hope you enjoyed my cards today. Don't forget to hop along and check out everybody else's video. And until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.